YouTube, the final frontier. These are the live streams of the channel Captain McKay Random. Its continuing mission? To explore strange new action figures, to seek out new hobbies and new conversations, to boldly stream where no one has streamed before. Yes. Once again, it is Wednesday. Let's get everything in order here right now, and we can begin streaming. Oh man, let me tell you, nice tornado warning blew through my neck of the woods here this afternoon. That was nice. Get to leave work in the middle of a torrential downpour. That was awesome. We got some people here. We got the live chat going. So let's see. We got Harry, Baki, Logan, Burnout Inc., Bash, Latoya. Very nice. ESW, I see. Nice. Joseph Miga, what's going on? At Bash? Yeah. I'm hearing good things about this Kevin Dunn's finger on the switch all of a sudden. What's going on? Are they just like not shying away from Attitude Era type stuff anymore? Like this is unprecedented. It's like the 90s all over again. We got Bischoff and Paul Heyman in charge. Things are crazy. Are things crazy? I don't know. I haven't watched Raw or SmackDown or any of it. But I did see that Lacey Evans entrance, like people screenshotted it and shared it all over the place. So, well familiar with that. I guess they figured, if they like zoom in on every time somebody gets hit, they might as well zoom in on stuff like that that's going to sell tickets too. Zombie, what's up? Chino, what's going on? Kirk Holland, what's happening? So let's see. Where am I streaming in the intro? I say stream where no one has streamed before. I mean, not counting me. I don't know if anybody else has ever streamed in this room before, prior to this. And honestly, if they have, then I guess my whole title thing is just a lie. But what are you going to do? I never said I was going to be honest in these streams. I said I was going to just try and do it on Wednesdays and see. Hopefully I can keep up the trend. Game over. What's going on? Harry Flynn says he saw Spider-Man Far From Home. Nice. Joseph Miga says, am I going to Area 51? Somebody explain that to me. Because I've been seeing like a meme storm over the past couple days. And I don't get it. Are people just deciding that they're going to go to Area 51? I guess. That's cool. I saw, somebody said, when Lacey Evans has an elite figure, they better package her ass out, says Burnout Inc. Yeah, I mean, just put her backwards in the package, like a variant, like Batista with the tattoos. Maddox Taylor says, thanks for watching a few of my animations on IG and giving tips. Hey, no problem, man. The amount of money I spent on Ghostbusters merch over the past week is, well, it's a lot. I even ordered 3 of the 4 damn TMNT crossover figures, finally. I can't find Mikey as Venkman. How was that, was it a toy show you went to, or a little swap meet convention type thing? Were you able to find your big Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? I got to know. Suckers got to know. Logan says, Nightcrawler's out on Amazon. Oh, nice. Okay. And matter of fact, I just picked Iceman up today. This is the retro carded vintage style figure. I like it so far. The looks of it. Looks really cool. On the back, you'll see the rest of them there. You got Wolverine, Storm, who's that? Dazzler, Cyclops, and Silver Samurai. So, yeah, I'm excited. And then plus, the Nightcrawler that people are talking about is a whole separate wave. So, I'm not getting too attached to my money. Plus, I've got a friend of mine is going out to San Diego Comic-Con. So, I'm like, I'm going to need that blue Guile and that Sagat with the white trunks. So, there's more money that I just spent. Oh, well. Let's see. They're going to run the Naruto run all the way to Area 51. All right, I gotcha. Yeah, the Naruto run is to avoid being shot by Area 51 security. I guess that's as the meme as I understand it. I don't know. Let's see. Will I make a Kenny Omega custom? I won't make one probably, but I've seen Burnout Inc., friend of the chat, make several, and they always turn out good. So, if I need a Kenny Omega custom, I know who to call. Speaking of who we gonna call, these Ghostbusters things, Bash says he got Stay Puffed only on eBay, listed at $180 plus 20 shipping. There's a make offer option, but seller refused to budge. Did get lucky at flea market and retro stores this week. Nice. Burnout Inc. said, really digging the MK animations on the old IG feed, by the way. Well, what he's talking about is on my Instagram, at Captain McKay, which some of you already follow. I've been posting little clips of Mortal Kombat animation that I've been doing. Now, I've been working on something big, and obviously now most of you who paid attention, you know it's going to be Mortal Kombat themed. I'm not going to give you too much more than that yet, but it's going to be cool. It's going to be a while before it's done, so just keep an eye on Instagram for when I post like the little teaser clips, because those are fun. Mira Huckleberry, yep. The WWE Ghostbuster crossover figures will be a must for Bash. Nice. Let's see. Logan says, do I like Angle? As in Kurt Angle? Yeah, of course. He's awesome. Let's see. What else did I get in today? I got a couple things in the mail today. But it's honestly not that interesting. It's just a couple of like pieces of like fodder, basically, for like customs, Marvel Legends stuff. I got it for two purposes, so you'll see what those are. I've shot a little bit of stuff for Between the Frames, so I'll show more about that. Besides that, I'm waiting on one or two things. I'm mostly waiting on Big Bad Toy Store to let me know when that Mezco cable, the blue and yellow one, is out. It was supposed to be June, and now it's saying July, and I'm honestly not holding my breath, so I don't know, whenever. But that figure looks good. That's the only Mezco that I have really on my radar this year, so until they release that Michael Keaton Batman, which I don't know when that's even supposed to be out, but hey, you know, the longer they take, the happier I am to save the money. Let's see. I want to see Goku versus John Bucket Cap. John... I gotta know, John who? Predatorious Films, what's up? ESW says, very excited for MK Animations, starting a story series or a fight scene. Right now it's just violence. That's all it is right at the moment. Joseph Miga, favorite skit from the Attitude Era? Oh, man. I always liked the one where Stone Cold threw The Rock's Intercontinental Championship off the bridge. And then when they went back and revisited it like a year and a half later when The Rock had the smoking skull belt and he threw it off the bridge, and then Stone Cold came to the bridge and he threw Stone Cold off the bridge. That was always great. I love that. And where Undertaker and Paul Bearer kidnap Steve Austin and they're going to bury him alive, but then they're going to change their mind and they embalm him alive. And when they go try and embalm him alive, Kane shows up and beats him up at the funeral home. It's crazy. The Attitude Era was out of control. Let's see. Imagine, if you will, the WWE Ghostbusters line is successful and we get a Slam Mobile Ecto-1. You see, now we're talking. You do that Braun Strowman car with an Ecto-1 theme to it. Just, obviously, or just make a brand new Ecto-1 and make like a Hornswoggle Slimer or something. I don't know. Like, just, you can find something to do. Kaimo Films, sorry I'm late. Oh, no problem. You're coming back from, from G-Fest, so the man's busy. I want a Vader as a Stay Puft figure. That's the one. They need... Baki wants Jax to do the AEW figures. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of an action figure line for AEW. They got a lot of marketability, and if they wind up on TNT, people are going to see them. Let's see. What did I just miss? That Ultimate Edition Nakamura is looking pretty good. I do like the look of it. I'm going to skip on that, I think. The only Ultimate figure I'm for sure going to get is Bret Hart. And if the Warrior looks good, I'll pick up Warrior. But I'd like to see that in person first. No, not Kurt Angle. Angle from X-Men. You might be talking about Angel, in which case, yes, I do. I like all the X-Men characters, though. Matter of fact, I got I was messing around with some of the X-Men figures I had before. Now I have all my Archangel wings. Like, these are the Hasbro ones, and these are the Toy Biz ones. And while the Toy Biz ones look kind of weird, you did get a lot more movement out of them. You could like unfold them and stuff, and they were pretty cool. So I've been trying to figure out a way to maybe like put these on the newer figure, because the newer figure is better. So I don't know. We're just brainstorming lately. Chris Shalloway, am I late? Oh no, man. You're just coming in true. Bash says, has the Ultimate Brett figure been shipped to people? Did you order it or waiting to find it in stores? I've seen it on Ringside, but it's like $40 on Ringside, and I'm not doing that. So as far as I know, I don't even know if Series 1 is out. The Ronda and Warrior. So honestly, I couldn't tell you. People have been getting theirs because I've been seeing people posting pictures of it on like Instagram and stuff, but they might have gotten it from Ringside and just paid that extra money. I don't know. So Brock is champ again. Oh, jeez. Terrible. Burnout Inc. wants an epic moments McMahon bedpan scene. Austin dressed as a doctor, McMahon in a medical robe with a broken foot and a hospital bed. San Diego Comic-Con is this weekend. They need to show that. Let's see. G-Fest was dope. I didn't vlog as much as I wanted to just because I wanted to enjoy the con. Yeah, makes sense. Like, I was just talking with a friend today about people at concerts and watching like fireworks and stuff, and that they have to like film the thing with their phone. I'm like, I don't get it. Like, if I made the effort to be there, I want to just be there and enjoy the thing I'm watching. And you know, I got 50 people around me on their phones. That's fine. Like, whatever. But I'm just gonna look at the stage or look at the thing I'm looking at, not look at it through my little phone. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But to your point, you know, G-Fest is probably better appreciated just by actually being at G-Fest. Glass Garcia, hi. Latoya wants to know Prime Lesnar versus Prime Andre, who would win? I'm going to make Andre win because I just don't like Brock Lesnar. So, like, you could put Brock Lesnar against, like, Barry Horowitz, and I'd still have Lesnar lose. Series 1 of the Ultimate Edition has started showing up at Target. Oh, yeah, okay, gotcha. Nice. See, my Targets lately have been terrible. I went into the two that are nearest me recently because I was hoping to find a cheap Goldberg defining moments, or was it entrance greats Goldberg, and they didn't have any. So I'm like, well, all right. Have I ever had the TNA Toy Biz action figures? I actually had a couple. I had Rhino, which was actually really good. I had a Jeff Hardy, but I sold it, and I had one or two more. They weren't bad, and they actually scale okay with Mattel. Let's see. Logan Dottie says they need to make a Marvel Legends blob. If they do it as a Build-A-Figure, I'm going to be pissed. Well, that's exactly what they did with the blob that they made. Was it like probably like 10 years ago or so now? But if they do another blob, I would be surprised if it wasn't a Build-A-Figure, honestly, because he's such a big character. I mean, they may repackage it and sell it down the line. Like the Juggernaut was a Build-A-Figure a couple of years ago, but now he's coming out again in a 2-pack with Colossus. And he's like painted differently, but it's the same figure for the most part. Let's see. Did I ever go to WWF New York? No, I did not. I heard it was terrible, though. Like, I heard the food was awful and that, like, the service and basically everything about it was, like, bad. If I see Goldberg on clearance again, Cap, I'll nab one for you. Swigger Bear for Burnout Inc. Thank you. I appreciate that. Did Jeff Hardy get arrested again this past weekend? I swear this guy will never grow up. He did. I didn't read the article or anything, but I can only assume it's just more Jeff Hardy, more of the same. So I don't know if he's like drunk in public or something or whatever the case, but this guy, like, he just needs to learn, and I don't think he's going to. What did he get, Jeff? Oh, yeah, okay, here we go. Zombie, we need a new Blob, Pyro, and Avalanche. I agree 100% on all three accounts, especially since we got that new Mystique. Like, a new Pyro would be great. Even though the old Toy Biz Pyro is still not, like, I say this about a lot of figures, but Pyro, he's not a bad figure. He holds up okay. Now, again, I say this about some Toy Biz figures, and then when Hasbro does a remake, I'm like, yeah, okay, this definitely needed to be redone. I just didn't realize it at the time. So, like, that happened with Gambit. I was like, I still kind of like the old Gambit. I don't know. But then when I got the new one, I'm like, yeah, okay, this is, like, way better. But yeah, Avalanche, we never even got like a regular Avalanche. There was only the weird X-Men Classics one that had kind of like a weird uniform on. I used it in my Brotherhood animations because that was the only one I had, so it's just all there was. I have a menu from WWE New York. A friend went and brought me back the menu, said it was a terrible experience. That sounds about like everything I've heard. Got this bug in here, and so now he's just going to fly around and mock me. I think Jeff's demon surfaced due to the amount of pain he's always in. Let the dude smoke his weed. Yeah, I mean, at this point, he doesn't really owe anybody anything. My mic is gone? Oh, no. Are we back? Are we okay? I don't know. It's telling me I got a readout. How's my sound? Everybody let me know if you can hear me. At least Jeff wasn't drinking and driving. That's true. Oh, okay. Burnout Inc. says never mind. Good. All right, we're back on time. They need to make a Toad, not the small one. They definitely, because that first Toad, that Marvel Legends, that first figure that Toad came out with, that's like the only time they ever did it that wasn't like a movie version. And it's also like the only like Marvel Legend with like less than like 10 points of articulation or something. So he's definitely way overdue. Okay. Logan, Zombie, Kirk, Bash, Baki. Yeah, okay, so everybody's sound is good. I don't know what happened with Burnout Inc., but hopefully that doesn't happen again. I pay good money for this stream every week. That's a lie. I don't pay any good money. I just, I definitely think I need to get a new computer at some point soon, though. This one, it's holding together. It's doing fine, but, you know, I got this big project I'm working on and all this other stuff that I'm doing, like, you know, streaming and everything. And this is an old computer, so it might be time to upgrade. Let's see. Forgot about Toad. Yeah, I mean, he's a good member of that Brotherhood team with like Blob and Avalanche and Pyro and everybody that you just, those mutants that you overlook kind of, but they definitely need to go back and do that. If anyone's interested in NXT news, Killian Dane returned and put Matt Riddle through the stage. NXT's getting crazy. All right. Bash played through Uncharted 4 for the second time this past week. Still my favorite video game series. I got to give that a fair shake. I think my roommate has the Uncharted collection, so I got to go through and actually like play some of those, like sit down and actually give them some time. Because I played 4 because it came with my PS4, and I played like a chunk of it, but basically the only reason I got the PS4 was to play Doom, so like that's the kind of game that I was in the mood for at the time, so I was like, this is pretty cool, but now I'm going to go back and play more Doom. And, you know, obviously they're wildly different games, but Uncharted is one that I can give a fair shake to now. WrestleMania 2000 is great because it had a massive roster and great gameplay passed on from Revenge. The feel of the WWE product was in full force and Create a Superstar was tight. Yes, it was. Cap, was I a fan of Xena? Asks Latoya. I've seen a bunch of episodes and it's not a bad show, but I wasn't like watching it week after week or anything like that. That and like Hercules, they ran pretty much the same time, right? It was like one show and then the other. I'm sure they're fine. I mean, I like a lot of ridiculous TV, so I don't see why I wouldn't enjoy those shows. But at the time they were on, I wasn't watching them all the time. Let's see, in a crazy world. Oh, Baki asks, favorite video game? Mine is Street Fighter 3. My favorite, like, old school video game is Final Fight. Recently? I don't know. That's tough to answer because I go through phases where I play the same game just, like, all the time. So lately it's Mortal Kombat 11. Before that it was Spider-Man. I love Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. I love Doom. Like, all of that. No Mercy, still. Let's see. Recently found out that Nickelodeon's Are You Afraid of the Dark from the 90s was a Canadian show. Really? I had no idea. Well, that makes sense. Because it was so much better than the other shit. No, I'm just kidding. But, I don't think I really remember too much about that show, aside from, like, the odd episode I would see. Because I can't remember if it was a part of SNCC. Because at the time that I was watching, that was, like, was it All That, Keenan and Kel, and one or two other things. So that might have been on there, honestly. Can't remember. let's see. Quicksilver's on the Brotherhood and in Dark Phoenix. He's an X-Men. Magneto, which side are you on? Quicksilver's one of those characters, and I'm looking over here because I just got that figure out. He's in a box, though. But he's one of those characters that goes back and forth from being good and bad. Like, he's on the Avengers team a lot, and he's on the Brotherhood every now and then, and he's just... He got to make his mind up. He's one of those heels that just turns face every now and again. Let's see. Anybody heard of Guilty Gear? I only know what that is because the people that made Guilty Gear, I think, made the Dragon Ball Fighter Z game. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I know, though. I do like the Dragon Ball Fighter Z game, so Guilty Gear is anything like that. That's not bad. Let's see. What was I missing? Aside from removing full entrances, No Mercy was perfect. Yes, that's true. That's the one thing I did miss because I used to like in was it Mania 2000 where like you could actually get the Undertaker on the on the stairs on the post, and he would do like the arms raised up and the lights would come up. Kane would do his taunt like where the ring post would burst on fire. Like, yeah, I did like that. And so sadly missed, but honestly they added enough for me to not like miss it too much, I guess. Let's see. Remember Pete and Pete? Oh, of course. Yeah. Pete and Pete was it was a strange show, but oh god, what's the one I keep thinking of? The Mr. Tasty episode? That's like the one that pops into my head all the time with the big ice cream cone head guy. Weird show. Did they say a boot on the show? Oh, I hope they did. Let's see. Whatever happened to the Batman Slap series? Unfortunately, time happened to a lot of my animations. Now that I think about it, I used to have like a job that never really gave me any hours, so I never made any money. But I had plenty of time to do videos, and now it's like the other way around, where my job is like just making me work a lot more. And I just don't have as much time, which sucks because I would much rather be doing videos than working. But at the same time, I like having money to like pay bills and things. So I don't know. No Mercy adding the victory taunts for The Rock and Too Cool and Kane was dope. Yeah. I mean, No Mercy. Like I also liked how certain wrestlers had their own body type in there too. So like The Rock had his own. I think Rikishi had his own. Like a few different characters would just like be pretty much custom, like right from the jump. I know it was in Mania 2000 too, but like No Mercy had like the what do you call it? Like the editor, the wrestler editor. So like if somebody came out looking different on Raw that week, you could make a version of that as your like main, I guess, player one version of the wrestler. I remember when Kurt Angle shaved his head, I had a bald version of Kurt Angle for the game and everything. It was crazy. Arkham Asylum is still my favorite in the series, says Bash. I prefer it over City. I replayed Arkham Asylum a couple of years ago now, but it was really good. It was a lot of fun. I like Arkham City, maybe still a little bit more than Asylum, but I forgot how fun Asylum was to go through because there was a much smaller space like than compared to a whole city, but they gave you access to it in such a good way. They're like leaving little things where they know you're going to see that you can get up there eventually, but first you need to get the grappling hook that can shoot the 3 and you can pull the wall down, and then you're going to need to get the other thing to get across like the canyon or whatever to get where you need to be. But yeah, they did a great job with Arkham Asylum, and I like the boss fights too, like the Bane fight the first time you fight him. That was fun. Let's see. I started animating my next film, filming a underwater scene now. Oh, nice. Awesome. Capsells is back like Commissioner HBK in the latest 616 Entertainment video. Yes! I'm always happy to be a part of the the various videos. He'll text me and just be like, hey, you want to be in the new video? I'm like, all right, what do I have to do? And he's like, he gives me like a frame of what he wants. And then you just like fill it in as you go along. And I'm like, cool, all right, I got you. I can only imagine how Backlash on N64 would be, especially following up with No Mercy. Oh, do you mean like a sequel to No Mercy? Sad that we never got it. And I did see somebody say that Kenny Omega wants to like bring back the Aki engine. It should happen. Like honestly, if AEW gets a video game and they have that engine, it's in the running for best video game like of the year right there. I just do it, especially if you get like a really in-depth creator wrestler where you can like design gear for people. Like what was it, like one of the GameCube games I think had this, where you could like draw on the shirts and stuff. It's a wrap. It's over. I would love that. Let's see. I'm not big on open world games. Probably why I prefer Asylum and love the Uncharted series so much. It makes sense. Yeah. And it's just now watch your video about how it was like a Star Wars Force Awakens deleted scene and all the stormtroopers. John Cena jumps out. Some guy, it was probably a couple people, but some guy got mad because he clicked on that thinking that it was actually a deleted scene from Star Wars. And I'm just like, it says like parody right in the title. Like, you know this isn't going to be real if you can read, but I digress. This is the internet. I should have known. Let's see. Is it weird that despite Revenge being limited, I prefer it over No Mercy sometimes? I mean, nah, because like it does have a lot of fun gameplay, and it's got a lot of weird characters, like all the Japanese like ninja guys and stuff, all the different things that come in. So, hey, I liked Revenge when it came out a lot. Logan Dottie says, I think Marvel Legends needs to make a Jean Grey. Rumor is they are. If you look, there's a recent X-Men picture that they did for SDCC, I think, and there's a new Jean Grey figure at the back end of the picture that is not one they've ever released before. So, like, if they're showing that, then that means it's probably coming out. I remember when Edge shaved Angle's head, he said something stupid like, instead of you suck, you're bald. See? There we go. There's a leak of the new Injustice Storm Collectibles figure of Doomsday. Oh, I saw that, actually, just today. And I forgot to get a picture for the stream, but it looks really good. And it looks like it's straight out of the first Injustice game, which is awesome. It's weird that Storm has been showing a couple of these Injustice figures for a while, and I have no information on like when they're actually supposed to come out. Like, they just don't say. And furthermore, they're all villains. It's Lobo, it's Darkseid, it's Doomsday. Like, they haven't shown a Batman or a Superman or a Wonder Woman, like all the ones that you would think you'd start with. But honestly, they all look pretty good. I mean, Lobo especially I like, and the Doomsday looking pretty good too. So I mean, I don't know. Their schedule is weird. Like, they've only got, I think, 2 Mortal Kombat figures this year, and that's the new Scorpion and Cyrax. But you got to figure like all the repaints to follow. They're going to be pumping those out. So I don't know. Do I still collect Jax? No. I haven't bought a Jax figure. Oh, wait. I tell a lie. Because last week I showed my newest Jax figure that I bought, which is, I don't see him right now. But I got a Ruthless Aggression Scott Steiner with the Big Papa Pump t-shirt and the black wrestling gear. So, yeah, I needed to have that. And it was like $5. But besides that, I haven't bought a Jax figure in a long time. Don't forget Storm showed up with Bane. Yeah, the Bane looked really good. Kaimo got the SHMA Godzilla 1962. Great figure with great posability. Now I have both NECA and SH Monster Arts figures. Nice. Yeah, see, I still only got the NECA one, but I really enjoy the look of the Monster Arts one. I just wasn't sure if I was going to ever pick it up. Let's see. Have I ever played Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, a.k.a. AJ Styles' favorite wrestling game? Says Latoya. No, I don't think I have. Is that, what's that, like PlayStation 1 or 2? Or is that, like, even farther back? Oh, wait, no. Is Virtual Pro Wrestling the N64 one that we talked about on the stream before? Inquiring minds got to know. What is the best ladder match between Edge and Christian, the Hardys, and the Dudleys? I don't remember them all, like, in detail or anything, but was it TLC 1 where... Was that at No Mercy? TLC 1? And TLC 2 was WrestleMania, I think? I can't remember off the top of my head. But probably the first one, just because it was so far beyond what anybody was thinking it was going to be. let's see, when I go back to doing JWF, will we see more Super Tiger Pro Wrestling? I don't even have to go back to doing JWF ever for you to see more Super Tiger. That's something I can do if I just feel like doing Super Tiger. But I would like to, maybe. Predatorius says doing some stop motion right now, actually. Strange how it's actually harder with a broken leg. I can imagine, jeez. I want a Scott Steiner Hardy's owner figure. I was thinking, yeah, we could get a head swap onto like a suited body, like get one of those like oh man, who would it be? Like a Vince McMahon body or something. Just put Scott Steiner's head on it, and then he could report on like the hit and run crime that happened like just outside the, or whatever that was. I forget exactly what the crime was, but they got news footage of Scott Steiner, like restaurant owner Scott Steiner, like explaining the scene. That was awesome. Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 is N64. Okay, then that's the one we talked about. Yeah, and I think I actually went and looked for a Game Shark and that game so that I could play it. Because I know it's a region thing, but like you have to put it through the Game Shark to be able to play it. And unfortunately, at the time, I just didn't find one for like a good price, and I just haven't really looked since. TLC 1 was SummerSlam 2000. Was it SummerSlam? Okay. Joe versus Haggard death match. Samoa Joe. What's he up to lately? Is he actually like important on TV, or has he just been relegated to being nonsense? This, from what I understand about current pro wrestling, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins are like a couple, which fine, but they're like a couple on TV too, which spells disaster, because if they ever break up in real life, are they going to just have to break up on TV, or are they going to be forced to stay together and be all awkward? Second, I know they have that shirt that Seth Rollins wears now, is like the man's man, which, I mean, it's clever because Becky Lynch is the man and he's her man, and I get that. But number one, you're going to upset Steven Regal, the real man's man, right? There's only one man's man. And second, how many cringy, awful incel wrestling fans are going to have that shirt when they go to their like photo op with Becky Lynch and like go to take their picture, and they're going to be like with their man's man shirt, and she'll be sat there like, I can picture I want somebody to collect all the photos that they find like that and just put them on Twitter or put them on Facebook or something. But yeah, that's my thoughts on current wrestling, because that's all I really know. Let's see. I noticed WrestleMania 2000 is based on the early part of the Attitude Era, and No Mercy is based on the later part of the Attitude Era. Well, that makes sense because that's when the games were released. So yeah, definitely. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Chris Shalloway says, what do I think about Brock versus Seth rematch at SummerSlam? It says it right in the title, rematch. Like, what do we need that for? How many times are these two guys going to fight? And how many times is Brock Lesnar going to keep coming back and winning the title? I don't care about Brock Lesnar. And even though I like Seth Rollins, I don't want to watch Brock Lesnar in this match, so it just doesn't interest me. And that's too bad because, Seth Rollins is really good. But, oh well. Samoa Joe is jobbing, which is crappy. That is crappy. Swig a beer for Samoa Joe's dead wrestling career. Tell you what, I was excited when Samoa Joe came over to NXT. I was like, oh crap, this guy, he's awesome, because I had recently discovered him. Just came across some clips of his on YouTube, and somebody had sent me like some of his Ring of Honor matches with like Bryan Danielson and Kenta Kobashi and like some of these other guys, and I'm like, oh wow, this guy's awesome. And then I watched some of his matches on the network on NXT, and again, really good stuff. And then he showed up on the main roster, and rather than continue to be awesome, he just, man, I don't know. I really have no idea. But then again, maybe Eric Bischoff or Paul Heyman or somebody will see something in this guy and be like, yeah, how about we do something with this guy, because he's great and we can use him. Bash says, I haven't watched current wrestling in a month other than the occasional match or segment. Apparently Shane McMahon is on every show and going over everyone. Yeah. Oh, months. Okay, I see. Yeah, I've also been hearing that too. Like Shane McMahon won that thing in Saudi Arabia, that tournament, and he's like, basically, he's got bragging rights now for being better than everybody all the time. And I think he's fighting with Kevin Owens now, or still, or again, I don't know. But, like, Shane McMahon, it was good to see him for a while, but why is he still like? First of all, why has he ever been winning matches? Like if he's gonna win a match, it should be because like the posse comes in and beats the guy up when the ref isn't looking, or something ridiculous, you know. But hey, I don't write the show. Baki says, "Have I played Def Jam Vendetta? I think that engine would suit an AEW game better." Oh, it's the same engine. It's Aki. Def Jam just came for the GameCube, I think. I should know this because I just watched 616 Entertainment's Def Jam video, so I do need to actually try that game out because it looked really fun. I want to take Ludacris through his career. If WWE knew what was good for him, they could have taken the belt off of Lesnar. Oh, Samoa Joe? Yeah, I agree. Let's see. I've never played Def Jam Vendetta because I find rap music to be the closest thing to holding me down and waterboarding me until I slowly drown and pass away. Well, I mean, it's not rap music, and I guess every kind of music is not for everybody, but, you know, if you don't like the rap music, you might not enjoy the game. I don't know how much of the music is in the game. I'm sure it's got to be in there quite a bit because you've got all these guys in it, but all I watched recently is WrestleMania. I just don't really give a shit anymore. Makes sense. They should bring back the Mean Street Posse. Play it, it's worth it, but Fight for New York is the greatest. Mute your TV. It was on PS2, PS2 also, PS2 as well. Okay, so it was around that era then, because I didn't have PS2 until later. At the time, I had a GameCube, and there was some good games for it, but I never once thought about this Def Jam Vendetta, because why would I? It's just, I was like, what is it, fighting game with rappers? It's ridiculous. I didn't realize that it was like the same engine as No Mercy. I was holding out hope, waiting for, was it like WrestleMania 19, which everybody was saying was going to be just like No Mercy, and that, I hope 616 Entertainment does a Triangle X Squared Circle on that game, because that, swig a beer for me for buying that game, spending money on it. God. It's the only wrestling game, besides like WCW Backstage Assault, where you don't actually get in a ring at all. It's terrible. The creative wrestler is awesome. And so I just made like Batman and just stayed backstage and fought off a bunch of guys, because at that point you're like, well, I might as well have some fun with this. I paid for it, right? Let's see. Comp. I see Kirk Holland saying comp a lot. I think I might play it on mute with Lacey Evans' theme playing on my phone instead. Favorite Dragon Ball character? Also Frieza Saga or Cell Saga? Cell Saga for me because of Mr. Satan. And favorite character? Mr. Satan. But favorite like main character? Probably Gohan. Surprised no one's tried to reskin it to wrestling, but then again, I wouldn't begin to imagine how hard it'd be to mod. Joseph Miga had that weird ass revenge mode. Yeah. Let me tell you. I had both backyard wrestling games and recall Tara Patrick, Sunrise Adams, and Tylene Buck being playable characters. Wow. What was that other wrestling? Was it like Legends of Wrestling, where they had a bunch of like old school wrestlers like Bret Hart, Sting, Hulk Hogan, Owen Hart, I think was in there. Like a bunch of these guys were in there. What, 19 bad? I remember fighting in the ring and it was awesome. Am I thinking of the right game? We're going to investigate this right now. But I was pretty sure it was WrestleMania 19, but it might have actually been 18 actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. WrestleMania GameCube. We're going to find out which is which right now. XIX is 19. I don't think it was WrestleMania X8. I don't know. We're going to find out after the stream and get back to you. Legends of Wrestling got 3 games and reclaims dying breaths. Oh, okay. That was a claim then. Makes sense. So I only played like a store demo of one of the Legends of Wrestling games, but I don't remember much about it. So if it was a claim, did it play like Warzone and Attitude and the like the ECW ones? Because if so, I could see why it died. But that roster was actually pretty cool, if I remember. Legends of Wrestling was awesome. You could have a bloodbath in those matches, and the blood would never leave the ring. Nice. What do we got? I haven't started season 2 of DBZ. Speaking for which, I saw 2 cars license plates DBZ and 2 with 420. I laughed my ass off. Crazy. Legends of Wrestling started as an ECW game. It was done by Acclaim. It says Shaq Daddy Forever. Okay, well, that's good to know, because that makes sense, because that would have been around the time ECW got like bankrupt and wouldn't have been able to pay for their video games anymore. Speaking of that, how many of those were there? There was Hardcore Revolution, and was there even a second one? There must have been, because I think Hardcore Revolution I got when it was like $6 in like Media Play or something, and I could have sworn there was a second one. Is WrestleMania 19? Okay, I thought so. Is Day of Reckoning worth playing? I don't hear anything about it. I honestly don't know, because at the time I wasn't really playing GameCube games, because eventually I did get a PS2 and I was playing like SmackDown 4 and 5, and those were the games I was playing, and honestly those were both really good. That's right. They got RVD and Sabu in the login. Yeah. Press left, right, triangle, square, and L2 to do a suplex. Acclaim. Terrible. Yeah. And then they had the weird system of like tie-up advantage, but like if you did the same move like 3 times in a row, the audience would boo you, and the other person would get like supreme tie-up advantage and be like, come on, like I just pressed the wrong button. That's it. Anarchy Rules, that was the second one. Yes, thank you. Joseph and Zombie both came through. Nice. Def Jam started out as WCW Mayhem 2. Yeah, 616 Entertainment just did a whole video on Def Jam Vendetta, and I learned a lot about it that I would have never known otherwise. Check his videos out in general, actually, because they're really good. Stephen Watson, what's going on? Anarchy Rules. One on the Dreamcast, I think. It says Shaq Daddy Pro. Okay. Was God, Dreamcast, did they have any other wrestling games besides just ports of Attitude and the ECW stuff? Because I remember Xbox had WWE Raw, and I only played that one like once or twice at my friend's house, and I remember thinking it was okay. Dusty Rhodes was in it, and they had Inferno matches and dumpster matches. I was so bummed when I bought it. Oh, okay, Baki already answered that. Dreamcast had WWF Royal Rumble, and I think that's it in the West. Let's see. Day of Reckoning is pretty awesome. One of the best games to do creative wrestlers, right? I haven't heard, but sounds good. Joseph Miga heard the wrestling games for the original Xbox are awful. That would have been Raw 1 and 2. And like I said, I only played it, I think, like once. So I honestly don't know. Royal Rumble was terrible. I remember playing in the arcade and thought it was terrible. It says Zombie. Let's see. Royal Rumble only had one-on-one mode and Royal Rumble. Wow. Really thinking creatively there for that development. Which is crazy, because even like Warzone, the first WWE game on like 64, had like a hardcore match. Well, they called it like a weapons match or whatever, but you know, there was a cage match. There was the cage match was actually really weird in Warzone, because they took the rings and the turnbuckles out, and you were basically just fighting inside of like an octagon, except it was just, you know, the ring with 4 steel walls up. Something else. My all-time favorite is No Mercy, says Kid Agent. Yeah, I'm with you there. Is San Francisco Toy Makers still a thing? Maybe they could make AEW figures. You know, I don't know. Dylan Wrestling, how's the night? We're hanging, man. The night's not bad. Yeah, I don't know if old San Francisco Toy Makers is still going, though. I imagine if they are, what would they even be making? I think the Royal Rumble game only had like 15 wrestlers, so it would have repeats a lot. That sounds really familiar, actually. So, like, somebody would get thrown out and then come back in like 10 spots later. It would be the same guy, just in a different costume. Is that the one? Yeah. Awful. As a matter of fact, yeah, I was just watching, while I was doing some animating, I had Matt McMuscles and Super Eye Patch Wolf talking about wrestling games, and they were it was like a podcast that they did, and that was one of the things that they talked about, and I guess it must have been that game, which, wow, Terrible, terrible, terrible. Let's see. I remember getting Royal Rumble, for Dreamcast, and being so impressed with the graphics and amount of characters in the ring, and then so disappointed with the trash gameplay. That happened to me with what was it? Batman Dark Tomorrow on GameCube. See, Batman Vengeance was done like the animated series, and the story and everything was really cool. Like, obviously Arkham games would come along later and like just blow it away, but at the time it was really good. But Dark Tomorrow, all the character models looked awesome. They were like perfect early 2000s versions of the Batman characters, but the gameplay was just so garbage, and it was impossible to make Batman like do anything you wanted him to do. Like, it was just the worst. Tetris 99 is amazing. It says Unknown Noah. Was that I had Tetris for 64, but there was a couple of games that came out around the same time. Like, one was for PlayStation, I think, also. I don't know if they were all the same game or not, but the 64 one was a lot of fun. Stephen Watson says, did I ever play WWF Warzone? I played as a kid for the PS1, but I think it was released for N64. I could be wrong. No, it was, because I had the 64 version. And at the time, I couldn't get enough of it because I didn't know any better until I played my friend's WCW World Tour game. And I was like, this is way better than Warzone. But luckily, this is the WWF game, and that's those WCW guys that I don't like. And then eventually, like, that same gameplay style got put with WWF guys, and I was like, this is awesome. I'm not going back to this Attitude or Warzone. Thanks again for the help earlier, by the way. Working on a little Wakanda display base for Black Panther, basing it off DGDX from Just Assembled. Oh, okay, see? There you go. Nice. If you get the chance, I should play WWF Betrayal. It's a Double Dragon-style side-scroller on the Game Boy. I played it when I was like 8, but I remember it being sweet. Was it original Game Boy, or was it like Game Boy Color or one of those? Because I have a Super Game Boy in the living room with Pokemon Blue in it, and if it's for original Game Boy, I can make that work. The PS1 version had those awful FMV promos. Yeah, you got those, but you also got like the actual theme music. See, in Warzone on 64, you didn't get those FMV things, but you also didn't get the real music. You got like MIDI versions of the music, which in a 64 game was like inexcusable, especially when Attitude came out and it had the regular music right in it. So it was like, well, it's not because they couldn't do it. It's just because they didn't do it. But I don't know. You had to put handcuffs on the guys in the Dark Tomorrow game. Yeah, God. And I could never even get past Black Mask. He would just kill me every time, and I don't think I ever picked it up again after that. I love Betrayal. Played the hell out of it. Game Boy Color. Oh, okay. Yeah, because the N64 couldn't do full motion video. No, but it could handle more sound than Warzone got. And that got proven with Attitude, because Attitude did have like the actual theme music looped in, and you know, for what it was, Attitude was a huge improvement on Warzone, but it was still that Acclaim engine where you're pressing like forward, down, forward, right, C to do the rock bottom, and like, come on, you know? Like, I don't know. Whatever. Did I see... Oh, let's see. Did I see the NECA video game style TMNT Turtles? It looks so weird. They look too weird. Are they just re-releases of the ones from a couple of years ago? I saw there was a 4-pack with Slash and with a Foot Soldier, I want to say. And I think NECA does those just so they have an excuse to repaint them in cartoon colors and get them out there on the market, because that's what ended up happening with the ones I'm looking at over there, the Target 2-packs. So who knows? That might mean a Slash down the road, like a real actual Slash figure. That's the downside with cartridges. Yeah, you're right. I mean, cartridges, N64 in general was very limited. Like, I remember playing Shadows of the Empire on computer, and it had like all the voices and like kind of like, I mean, yeah, it was kind of corny, but it was like FMV style like interludes between the missions. But then 64 basically had like little cutscenes where like it was like a character with like some text under it. Like, excuse me. It was a far cry from what I got used to on the computer. Who wins? Comic book Thanos versus Kratos from God of War. Well, Thanos of the Gauntlet wins every time, but without it, probably Kratos, because Thanos is not a god, and Kratos beats gods. It was always fun to put in the button combo for a finisher, only to kick him in the stomach instead. Yeah. God, those old days. How do I feel about the Avengers game coming out? I don't even think I've seen anything about it, aside from hearing that the character models look kind of bad. And I don't know. Like, what is... Has there... Sorry. I must be tired. Has there been, like, any gameplay shown of that game? Or is it all just still, like, that one trailer that came out back in E3? Because as of right now, I don't think anybody even knows what kind of game that is. So, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to have an opinion on it. Dash Rendar, baby! Best place to get cheap white bookshelves? I need one. Are you talking about, like, these gimmicks here? I've had luck at Target and Walmart, but the difference is Targets are about like 6 inches shorter than the Walmart ones. So that's Walmart, and you're looking at like probably 29 inches across. Targets, I want to say, are like 23. So choose wisely. If you don't need one too wide, or if you have a smaller space you want to put it in, maybe Target. But otherwise, Walmart. I think they're both $29.99. I mean, they were when I got them. Did I see Far From Home? I watched it with my dad and sister, and it was really funny. I like Far From Home. Yeah, it was pretty good. It sucks Undertaker's theme wasn't included in No Mercy. Should have put his Ministry theme since his costume was in the game. Yeah. At the time, he was doing the Kid Rock theme, and there was one, like, I don't know if it was like original theme number 2 or whatever it was, where it had like kind of an evil sounding thing followed by like an electric guitar riff that sounded like similar enough. And that's what I gave him, and I think that's what it was meant to be in there for. But yeah, I would have much rather had them just put in the Ministry theme. Like, what was cool about Attitude, and this is the one thing they did right, they put in the Ministry Undertaker theme because that's what he had at the time, but they included Paul Bearer in the game, and if you used Paul Bearer's music, his music was just the older Undertaker theme, which is kind of the one he's using now. There's like a newer version of that same theme with the, you know, the death music in there and everything. So you could have like a classic Undertaker that you make, and he would come out to his old music, and it was awesome. I ordered the 80-year anniversary 2-pack with Hulk and Wolverine. Any thoughts on new figures? That set looks really good. Okay. Yawning like a crazy man here. That set does look really good. I'm more impressed with the Wolverine than I thought I was going to be, because I was never a fan of that mask style. But honestly, the figure looks great. But I think that's just because that figure has proven to be so good all the time. The Hulk, though, looks really nice. I just wish he had more of a forward, like, butterfly hinge. Because his arms, like, go back really far, but they don't, like, come forward. And a lot of people were hoping to be able to get him to, like, clap. You know, like, do a sonic clap. And to this day, like, none of the modern Hulks do it. Like, the first Marvel Legends Hulk, he could do it, but that's because he had those big, ugly joints here, and, like, if you move them too far forward, like, there'd be a big hole in his back. But you know what? If you're looking at him from the front, he could clap. Sonic clap. Look up Undertaker demonic theme here on YouTube. It's glorious. I'm going to have to take a look. Scratch Daddy forever. Let's see. If those games are like the hidden stuff, the best part of those games are the hidden stuff. Like, I think Raven's parts were in Create a Wrestler, and Diesel's theme was in No Mercy too. Yeah, like a little MIDI version of his theme. And you're right, Raven had all of his, like, his gear, like his ripped up shorts, and his face was hidden in the like in the SmackDown Mall or whatever. Kirk Collins singing the yeah, who done it now? God. Always kicking assholes ass. Kaimo Films said, I saw King of the Monsters at Chief Fest. Every time any of the monsters were on screen, the Toho music played, or anything really, the audience went crazy. It was amazing. Nice. See, that's awesome. Like, I wouldn't want to see that, I think, for my first time in the movie, but, like, after, if I'm going to see it again, it would be awesome to get in there with a bunch of people who are also fans and would recognize, like, all the little things and be like, yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, that had to be a good time. I just saw that 2-pack, but it was $70 in the store, so I'm waiting. I just picked up Beta Ray Bill at Target. Gamer Legia 13. Nice. Okay. See, I haven't seen the 2-pack yet. Though I'm more looking out for the Colossus and Juggernaut one, but if I see Hulk and Wolverine, I'm probably going to pick it up because that Hulk looks really, really good. Badass is always kicking assholes' ass. Yep. There it is. It's terrible. The bummer of No Mercy was the glitch where your save would just delete for no reason. Thankfully, that never happened to me. And I got a new copy of No Mercy in there. Well, new. I got a used copy of No Mercy like a year and a half ago. And it's out there, and it seems like it's fine, because the last time I played it, this is a few months ago, but the last time I played it, it had all the creator wrestlers I made and like all the different gear I gave the guys, and so I've gotten lucky. I'm hoping. I really want that 80 Years Hulk to replace the Age of Ultron Hulk. Oh, in your collection? Yeah, this one, I mean, he looks so much better. Favorite song from Street Fighter 2? Vega, Ken, Guile. There's a lot of good ones. Zangief is a lot of good. It's a banger. Oh, yeah. Let's not forget Blanca. Gamer Legia. I also want that. Yeah, Colossus. Definitely. Space Case and Cap. Undertaker Demonic Side. Instrumental on YouTube. 723. I'm going to get it loaded up after this here. Let me just remind myself. God's theme goes with everything. Nice. Alice in Chains, Them Bones. Oh, if you're thinking about Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, yeah. Ken driving around blasting Alice in Chains. That's... Yeah, the 90s were a fun time for anime dubs. You know that if you watch Dragon Ball Z, like movies from that time, and they're playing like Disturbed in the background and like Godsmack and like why is this in a Dragon Ball Z like movie? Makes no sense. Undertaker, Demonic... Is it Dark Side? Demonic Side. We got this. So that's put aside for the next couple minutes. My No Mercy game erased once. I've owned it since it came out. I always get paranoid that it'll happen again. Man. That's... I would hate that because No Mercy was a game that I played so much and I bought so much from the SmackDown Mall and unlocked Ken Shamrock and Dude Love and Shawn Michaels and everybody, or not Dude Love, Cactus Jack, whoever it was, or was it Mick Foley? I don't remember which one was the locked up one, but yeah, I unlocked the Ho, all of them. It'd be a tragic loss. Godsmack is awful. Yeah, I mean, I was never a big fan of theirs, but that was that weird era of metal music where nothing was really, like, I didn't really like any of it that was out at the time. Or any of it that was popular at the time, I should say. Like, there was, new metal, it was called. NU-metal. And, I mean, even the name was kind of, like, anachronistic, because at this point now, calling it new metal, it's 20 years old. I did see Mudvayne, though, on a summer sanitarium tour with Metallica. And you know what? I don't like Mudvayne, but they put on a good show, so I'll give them that. Caps Cat doing a run-in. Hellhammer. Yep, I like how she's a regular in the stream. It's like watching Mr. Rogers and like one of the puppets shows up. If you see that door open up, there's Hellhammer. Storm just showed off Terry Bogard and Mattel revealed Asuka. NECA, April, Casey, and Jones confirmed. Oh, yes. See, now, right at the end of the stream, we're getting some SDCC info. I love it. Let's see. Does No Mercy take such time to complete 100%? Space Case, Pantera. Well, Pantera was, like, done in 2000. So, like, I don't know if it would be appropriate to call them a 2000s band since all of their most famous stuff was, like, 1991 through, like, 2000 or 1990 or whatever it was. Let's see, my first concert ever in 2000, 2001 was Puddle of Mud, Deftones, and Godsmack. Deftones was on that same tour with Mudvayne. It was like Mudvayne, Deftones, Limp Bizkit, and they played Rollin' Rollin', so, you know, I thought of Undertaker. Linkin Park, and Metallica. And that was fun. 6 straight streams I've been in. King Logan, you're the man. Let's see. Deftones. Have I ever listened to 80s Pantera? We'll take 1 or 2 more questions after this and call it a night. But yeah, what was it? Power metal with that one song. Was it "We'll Meet Again"? It was like the ballady type song. People want to give that a hard time, but that's a good song. Like, I mean, I know Pantera got to a point where they weren't going to be playing that ever, but come on, a good song's a good song. Was I doing the dance to Rollin'? No, thankfully, I don't think I ever knew the full dance besides the Rollin', Rollin', Rollin' that Fred Durst did in his entrance in SmackDown 3 or whatever that was, where you can unlock Fred Durst as a playable character. Yeah, even the SmackDown games were not without their faults. Stephen Watson says, "What's in store for the future?" Well, good question to end on. I posted a couple little clips to my Instagram for some animation that I'm working on at Captain McKay, and I'm going to continue posting little teasers there. Stay tuned to the channel, obviously. I'll post up little things here and there if I'm doing just in-between type stuff, smaller animations or like a review here and there. I haven't fully decided yet, but we're going to get some good stuff up here at some point, I hope. All right. Thank you once again for spending your Wednesday evening with the Captain. This has been yet another edition of the Captain's Log. Come back next week, hopefully, with, as long as nothing goes terribly wrong, we'll be right back here. Same Vader time, same Captain channel. My name is Captain McKay. We will catch you at the next one. Later on.